Pick your demons, choose your heroines, sharpen your weapons, it's time for a supernatural throwdown. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and in today's versus battle, we're pitting two guilty pleasure action franchises in a head-to-head battle, Underworld vs Resident Evil. Both are juggernauts of the sci-fi horror action genre with their own quirks, female badasses, and penchant for lots of bloody destruction.
Is that all you got? Because if it is, I'm gonna have to kill you.
With both franchises about to have new entries lighting up the silver screen, it's time to see which one stands tall over the other.
If you want to win this war, you will need to go further than even a warrior of your renown has ever ventured before.
One thing though, this is gonna get a little gory, so we're slapping the mature content warning on here. 5 rounds, 1 winner, let the mayhem begin. Round 1, story.
The war had all but ground to a halt in the blink of an eye. Lucian, the most feared and ruthless leader ever to rule the Lycan clan, had finally been killed.
On the off chance that you're not sleeping between action scenes, you get some pretty good storylines that have helped build both franchises. Underworld focuses on a war between the vampires and Lycans, aka werewolves, that has lasted for centuries. At the forefront is Celine, a death dealer, who discovers a shocking truth behind her creation, leading her to battle her own kind, that's vampires by the way, in addition to the Lycans she was bred to kill.
Lies.
The story hasn't just focused squarely on Celine, as the series has taken time to explore the war's roots and progression throughout history, as seen in Underworld: Rise of the Lycans. It's a vastly rich narrative that just keeps building and building.
We can choose to be more than this! We can be slaves! Or we can be Lycans!
The Resident Evil films are a bold departure from their video game counterparts.
At the beginning of the 21st century, the Umbrella Corporation had become the largest commercial entity in the United States. 9 out of every 10 homes contain its products.
After the supernatural T-virus gets loose in Raccoon City, it spreads worldwide, bringing about a zombie apocalypse. Enter Alice, a former Umbrella Corps security officer who spends most of her time evading and tearing apart the undead while dodging her former employers.
I'm not sure I want to remember what went on down here.
While several characters from the video games have appeared in the films, the departure from the rich storylines of the video game universe hasn't been met with wide acclaim. In fact, few fans of the beloved video game series are happy with it. Sure, it's original, but not nearly the kind of story Resident Evil diehards would have wanted to see.
What makes you think I care?
While Resident Evil has an interesting enough storyline, it's not very faithful to its source material, and Underworld's overall narrative is arguably more multifaceted. Round 1 goes to Celine and company. Winner, Underworld.
Anything I've done can be laid at your feet.
Round 2, monsters.
Wait.
Horror films should never be without a bevy of nasties to shoot at. The Underworld franchise is home to 2 classic monsters, vampires and werewolves. And when it comes to variety, there isn't much to be found. Sure, we'll see a transformed vampire elder or a souped-up Lycan every now and then, but these creatures of the night are pretty much standard fare, and tend to spend a lot of time in a more attractive human form as opposed to monster mode. That said, those Lycans though, man, you wouldn't want to be locked in a room with them. Thanks to it being based on a video game franchise, Resident Evil brings a lot of the series' various and unique bioweapons out to play.
Just one bite, one scratch from these creatures is sufficient. And then, you become one of them.
Alice and company have faced several of these classics, aside from the standard Walking Dead. The Lickers, the dreaded Nemesis, and of course those pesky mutated canines all make appearances, looking to make life a living hell for all survivors of the zombie apocalypse. We've got nothing against the vampires and werewolves of Underworld, but a little more variety in creature design would probably boost its appeal. Both franchises have plenty of badass monsters on hand, but Resident Evil's overall diversity of said monsters gives them the edge here. Winner, Resident Evil.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna kill every last one of them.
Round 3, visual style.
You're all going to die down here.
Resident Evil has shied away a bit from the style of video games, embracing a more colorful approach to its movies, especially after the 3rd film. No doubt this helps them stand out from the games even more than they already do. It should be noted that, as several video game characters have appeared throughout the series, some of their signature looks have been faithfully recreated for the films.
Hold it. What do you think you're doing?
Jill Valentine's Resident Evil 3 costume and Ada Wong's iconic and sexy red dress from Resident Evil 4 have made welcome appearances on the silver screen.
I don't work for Umbrella anymore. And neither does Albert Wesker.
Underworld has set itself up as a gothic, romantic action series from the get-go, embracing darkness with open arms.
All that is certain is that darkness is still ahead.
Emphasis on the color black adds an intense level of creepy to the action. You may have an idea of what might pop out of those shadows, but the actual terror never ceases to make us jump out of our seats in fright. Black is a color that the series has always worn well, from the dark shadows to Celine's iconic costume. Even the rivers of blood seem to have a darkened tint, definitely the stuff of nightmares.
He wants the blood of Celine. If they use it, the Lycan's power will be limitless.
Although Resident Evil's colorful style is a big plus for them on the visual side of things, Underworld's love for pure darkness proves that less is more in this particular battle. Winner, Underworld.
And if you bit me, what, I become a vampire instead?
No, you die.
Round 4, action scenes. This is the stuff that keeps you coming back to the movies. The explosions, the raining bullets, the bloody, endless gore. No matter which of these two series you choose, you're gonna get plenty of that and more. In the Underworld series, we've seen vampires and Lycans clash with both modern and classic weapons.
The weapons had evolved, but our orders remained the same.
While the weapons have evolved, as Celine says, some of the more supernatural tropes are present as well, from super speed to some good old-fashioned kung fu fisticuffs. I mean, whatever kills faster and makes the biggest mess is preferable.
You find her, and you destroy her.
Resident Evil, on the other hand, has always gone for a more bombastic, over-the-top approach.
Just don't do anything crazy, alright? Nothing as crazy as what you have in mind.
When bullets fail or run out, there's always a massive explosion or a knife that somehow gets the job done quick. And we haven't even gotten to the psychic powers that have dominated some of the later films. Alice's DNA bonding with the T-virus has produced some interesting results in battle. She can set the sky on fire or tear a hallway apart with a psychic attack, and that's just scratching the surface. Underworld tends to keep the battles big but secretive, as per its premise. But with Resident Evil, there's always an excuse to go as big and as loud as possible.
I'm coming for you! Good luck with that.
Both franchises are never short on action, blood, fight scenes, and overall badassery, but Resident Evil's flair for the extravagant, not to mention Alice's psychic abilities, make this a tie game. Winner, Resident Evil. Round 5, main heroine.
My name is Alice. And I remember everything.
Alice and Celine are both iconic figures in this new generation of sexy, badass heroine protagonists. Alice has been fighting the good fight against the hordes of the undead for a long time since Raccoon City was destroyed. You could almost say that her bond with this fight runs deep within her blood, cause, you know, she's got the T-virus in her system.
Somehow you bonded with the T-virus on a cellular level. You adapted it, changed it. You became magnificent.
I became a freak.
Rather than make her an ugly, misshapen husk, as we've said before, the T-virus actually grants Alice amazing powers, from increased agility and strength to some unexpected psychic abilities. Plus, she has a sweet wardrobe for the end of the world.
You mean this could all end?
Much like Alice, Celine has been fighting her own war for centuries, with all the perks of being a vampire. Speed, strength, deadly combat skills, and the ability to look incredible in leather.
They kill you too just for helping me.
I know.
Over the course of the films, Celine has fought both the Lycans and her own kind, and she's quite good at taking care of both. There is time dedicated to getting to know Celine herself, exploring her history beyond the monster slaying.
For 6 centuries, I was a loyal soldier of the vampire clan. But I was betrayed.
This extra bit of backstory gives her an edge here against Alice, who we don't really know that much about even after several movies.
Alice, what happened to you?
Here, the death-dealing beauty delivers the killing blow in this showdown. Winner, Underworld.
I heal instantly.
I'm counting on it.
Well, there you have it, folks. With ammo to spare, Underworld emerges victorious from this duel. Resident Evil may have the boom and monster variety going for it, but Underworld's dedication to building its lore, atmosphere, and that death-dealing goddess known as Celine gave it the sharper edge needed to pull out the win.
I said I would.
So, not the outcome you expected? Which franchise do you think stands tall over the other?
All that strength, but no will to use it. What a waste.
For more action-packed videos published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Allegiances will be made. And soon, I will become the hunted.